Personal greed leads to the abuse of media, and nowhere is that statement more vividly proven than in the case of Jimmy Lai, the founder of Next Digital Limited, once hailed as a media tycoon, has now been found guilty under Hong Kong's national security law. Once an ambitious businessman, Jimmy Lai has fallen from grace to a convicted criminal. His story is inseparable from the empire he created. The program, Jimmy Lai's Half a Lifetime of Transgressions, jointly produced by HKGPao and Silent Majority for Hong Kong, now enters its second episode. This time, we look into how Next Digital rose to prominence, how it thrived on sensationalism, invaded privacy, and blurred the line between journalism and spectacle, how it polluted Hong Kong's media landscape while slowly turning into a tool for Jimmy Lai's political crusade, one that would ultimately drive him closer to prison, step by step. When we talk about Jimmy Lai's media empire, one name immediately comes to mind: Apple Daily. June 20th, 1995, the day Apple Daily hit the stands, shaking Hong Kong's newspaper industry to its core. To conquer the reader market, Jimmy Lai slashed the price of his paper to just $2 Hong Kong. It was a ruthless business move, and it worked. That pricing war dragged down many long-established newspapers, including Singtao Huanpao and the New Evening Post. Once Apple Daily seized the market, its style became unmistakable. Bold pictorial spreads, relentless paparazzi chases, and headlines crafted purely for shock. The city had never seen journalism like this, and while readers devoured it, the industry watched ethics crumble. Because behind every scoop came another moral line crossed. Apple Daily turned entertainment into news, and news into theater. The boundaries of integrity constantly tested and more often ignored. October 20th, 1998, a tragic day in Tin Ping Estate, Shui. A Hong Kong man, Chan Kin Hong, and a wife, Lam Man Fong, who, unable to bear her husband's infidelity, took her own life and those of their two young sons. It was a story that gripped the entire city, and naturally, the media pounced. Just 4 days later, on October 24th, Apple Daily splashed a sensational front-page headline, an exclusive on Chan Kin Hong's trip across the mainland border in search of pleasure. No one expected the twist to come. Chen later admitted that he accepted 5,000 Hong Kong dollar from Apple Daily reporters in exchange for allowing them to photograph his travels. Apple Daily denied paying for what it called self-produced news, but conveniently admitted to giving money as transportation fees, they claim, to help Chen and his friends evade public security police capture. The result? A public outcry. Debates over media ethics exploded, and condemnation poured in from every sector of society. Eventually, on November 10th, Jimmy Lai himself was forced to print an apology notice right on the front page. He called it a sin born of sensationalism, yet in the same breath, he defended it, saying it came from a desire to do good journalism and a strong will to win. A confession or just another excuse? In 2002, former employees of Apple Daily revealed more. They claimed that the publication of Chan Kin Hong's photos had been personally approved by Jimmy Lai himself. One quote still echoes to this day, his catchphrase, "Apologizing doesn't cost money." A chilling reflection of the man's mindset. Perhaps driven by that hunger for attention, Apple Daily, along with its sisters magazine Next and Southern Weekly, could never escape controversy. From the 2010 Ba Wang defamation case to the 2011 scandal involving secretly photographed nude images of actor Bosco Wong, and even the 2013 slander of former Executive Council member Franklin Lam. Scandal after scandal, each leaving another stain on Next Digital's name. Its political ambitions, too, entangled deeply with Lai's own stance. In Hong Kong's turbulent political tide, the media mogul allied himself with the opposition. Ever since meeting veteran figure Martin Lee, Jimmy Lai frequently hosted meetings with politicians, gatherings that blurred the line between politics and personal influence. As mentioned in our previous episode, he came to be known as one of the leaders of Hong Kong's so-called Gang of Four. And those interactions, they weren't free of financial implications. In 2011, leaked documents revealed the scale of it all. From 2005 to 2011, Jimmy Lai donated more than 13 million Hong Kong dollar to the Democratic Party and 10 million Hong Kong dollar to the Civic Party. When the Civic Party and the League of Social Democrats launched the 5 constituency referendum in 2010, Lai contributed another 1 million Hong Kong dollar to each. Even Cardinal Joseph San, former Bishop of Hong Kong's Catholic Diocese, received a 20 million Hong Kong dollar donation from him. And then came July 2014, the eve of Occupy Central. Another revelation dropped like a bombshell. Confidential records obtained by the media show that between 2012 and 2014, Jimmy Lai had funneled over 14 million Hong Kong dollar to opposition figures and groups, the same names resurfacing. The Democratic Party, the Civic Party, Martin Lee, Cardinal San, former Chief Secretary for Administration, Anson Chen, and even Chu Yu-ming, one of the movement's initiators, whose Hong Kong Civic Education Foundation has also been funded. At that time, Hong Kong's public was already uneasy. Several legislators were engulfed in donation scandals. Even long-haired Leung Kok Hong faced charges of misconduct for failing to declare donations, though he was later acquitted due to lack evidence. Yet, questions lingered. While Jimmy Lai leveraged his media empire to back these dealings, society began to ask, was someone somewhere using the word democracy to mask the practice of money politics? Coincidentally, the illegal Occupy Central movement, simmering for more than a year, finally erupted that September. And there he was again, not just reporting from the sidelines, but marching in the streets. A media magnate turned activist, Apple Daily became his mouthpiece. Former Next Digital CEO Cheung Kim Hong testifying in court recalled, Occupy Central was a turning point for Apple Daily. From that moment, Jimmy Lai took a personal hand in editorial decisions, instructing his paper to call on the public to fight for democracy. And soon, Apple Daily looked less like a newspaper and more like a weapon, anti-government, anti-Beijing, and deeply partisan. What exactly did he do during Occupy Central? What part did he play behind the scenes? How deep did his influence run? Join us in the next episode as we uncover the full picture of Jimmy Lai and how his pursuit of power through the media became the very chain that pulled him into his downfall.